I'm Mindy Besaw, Curator of Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, and today I'm going to talk about Asher B. Durand's Kindred Spirits. So this is a key painting in the Hudson River School. Asher B. Durand painted it after Thomas Cole had died. Thomas Cole is recognized as the founder of American landscape painting, really celebrated our environment, landscape, the wildness of the landscape as our national identity. So when he died, it was a big deal. He had died young of pneumonia. So Asher B. Durand is really the second generation, that next level of painters that's going to take up the mantle of Thomas Cole, recommended to his students to go out into nature, paint in nature. So in the painting you actually have some great examples of Asher B. Durand and also of Thomas Cole's teaching, such as the details on the rocks, the details of the moss on the tree. All of that is based on close observation in nature. However, the whole scene is a composite. Thomas Cole often painted in the Catskill Mountains. It became part of his identity. So the falls in the painting are probably Catskill Falls. The clove here in the foreground and some of these rocks overhanging are also from the Catskill Mountains, but geographically they wouldn't have been laid out this way. Asher B. Durand gives us a hint that this is a composite imagined landscape by putting Thomas Cole in the painting. He's standing on the ledge there with his portfolio under his arm with William Cullen Bryant, the naturalist and poet. Because Thomas Cole had died, by this time seeing him in the landscape would mean it's imaginary. William Cullen Bryant had given the eulogy for Thomas Cole when he died. The two of them were good friends. It was very close. And Sturgis had commissioned this as a gift to William Cullen Bryant after Cole's death. Some of the great little hints in this painting: the blasted tree in the foreground was certainly something that Thomas Cole celebrated as a marker of the wildness of the American wilderness. It's also a bit of a remembrance for Thomas Cole. His life was really cut short. He died of pneumonia when he was only in his 40s. So there are some great literary connections with this painting. The title of the painting is based on a poem, and in fact the last line of that poem is, "When to thy haunts two kindred spirits flee." So there you have the title. But like other things in the exhibition and other 19th century art, especially literary influences were very strong. Think of course, writing and images as being really present and part of people's lives, and Asher B. Durand wrote a series of letters, imagined letters to his students that were published in the Crayon, which would then tell others what to do, how to experience nature, which was a big part of this time period in the United States, and I think looking around you also in other places in the Americas. So Crystal Bridges really embraces kindred spirits as part of not only the national identity of the United States, but also part of our identity. So this painting is typically in our Hudson River School galleries, shown alongside paintings by Thomas Cole and Frederick Edwin Church. In this context, for this exhibition, we get to see it along with the other Americas. So artists from Chile and an artist from Brazil, Facchinetti, who also is showing himself, the figures in the landscape, looking out over these vast expanses. So if we think of Durand as a national icon, how are these other artists and other paintings national icons in their countries? What are some of the similarities between how we absorb and look at this painting and maybe how others from different countries look at the paintings from their countries? I also think it starts to look at a new dialogue. What can we learn about the style of Asher B. Durand's painting and maybe some of the other styles? There are a lot of similarities in this whole gallery, but certainly differences. And so how do these connect but also remain very distinct?